Dear Scorpio, welcome to the Celestial Tarot. This is a September 2018 tarot reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. I did do a reading previously for Scorpio, and I've been processing all those videos, all the other tarot videos for all the other signs, and they've all been done and dusted, but Scorpio's reading that I did, it didn't want to be processed for some reason, so I'm redoing it now. And I just think the messages in the old reading probably just weren't meant to be coming out, and probably not meant to be received by Scorpio from a law of attraction standpoint. And maybe even you've got a lot of high frequency energy going on, and they say that high frequency energy, when you're in a really high consciousness kind of place, you tend to get a lot of technological issues because it just interferes with all the technology. So that's probably what it is. I think Scorpio is probably on super high vibes in September, hopefully. And hopefully those are all, really good and exciting vibes. Nothing too intense or strenuous or stressful. But I'll just explain how I'm going to do this reading. So I'm going to have 5 cards on the left, and these are going to be your personal energy throughout September, Scorpio. So it's going to be your actions, your motivations, your intentions, what you're focused on in a very conscious way. And then on the right side, we're going to have your external world. So 5 cards representing the people around you, what they're doing, how they're behaving towards you, how you see them behaving towards you. It could even be events. It's all about the things that you materially manifest in the real world. What situations are you manifesting? And this is just as a tool to use the law of attraction, using tarot, so that we can consciously work with it. Because, since this side is going to be what you're consciously focused on, that means there could be things that you've suppressed into your subconscious that then manifest externally. And that could be, if anything painful or difficult happens externally, it could be that that's something that needs integrating or working with. On the other hand, you could have a lot of positive energy on this side, even negative energy that you're consciously focused on. Then it manifests externally, particularly if it comes out, as a direct, similar card, because I'm going to be using 2 decks. And what that means is there's a great amount of congruence. There's direct manifestation of something that you're very consciously focused on, which can be very beneficial if we're working towards certain goals, and we're really trying to focus on abundance, for example, and then it manifests. So hopefully this spread is useful. I'm just going to shuffle the cards and pick one at random each time, whenever I feel inclined to. But Mars has gone direct, and these planets that go retrograde, they do have their shadow parts. They have to go through the Mars anyway has to go through its or what is the word for after? It's not pro, but it's retrograde shadow area. It has to go back over those last degrees of Capricorn and the early degrees of Aquarius before it comes out of shadow again. So I don't know about you guys, but as soon as Mars turned, stationary and started to move forward, was literally when I got all of my energy back to do things. My productivity just suddenly showed up again, and I actually wasn't expecting that. So that was actually quite surprising. I thought I was going to maintain all my motivation and productivity even throughout the Mars retrograde, but it literally didn't work out like that. And of course I am a Scorpio rising, so Mars is Scorpio's traditional, ruler, and now it rules Scorpio alongside Pluto. So I think Scorpios will have felt that much more intensely and directly. Okay, so the first card, wow, we get the World card for Scorpio in September 2018, and the World card is all about getting to work and making things manifest and trying to bring completion, trying to bring fruition to things. The World card is all about working with the limitations of the physical world and even the universe. We have certain laws in the universe, but it's trying to work in the tangible. It's trying to create a cause and effect with our actions. It's trying to bring results in. It's trying to create form and structure to whatever it is that we're focused on. It wants to make things happen in the now, in the tangible world, and this means working alongside or within the limitations, the structures that we have found ourselves in on Earth. So, you have rules, you have regulations, you have physical laws, and because of that can feel quite restrictive, limiting. We have boundaries we've got to work with, but this is, Scorpio willing to work with that to manifest what needs to be made. And so it's a very grounded energy. This is also Saturn. This card relates to Saturn, which is the taskmaster, the one who says, do this properly, be disciplined, get the stuff done that you need to do, bring skill and work and labor to it, So this is a very grounding energy in September for Scorpio. Very focused in the real world, but maybe we'll get more cards that come up that add a bit more balance, or that may not be as grounded. So we'll see how the story unfolds. But as a major arcana card, this is you really trying to bring a completion, a fruition to something that you're working on. It could be a goal, any kind of plan you've had. You wanted to materialize it. You're wanting to see it in the world, instead of it just being an idea or a plan. And like we said, Mars going direct means that definitely that motivation is there to make things happen. And that may be the energy for September, making things happen. And on the World card, we do have all the 4 fixed signs here from each of the elements. So this is about creating stability, something really structured, something that has worth and value, perhaps to you, perhaps to others in the world, something that will endure the test of time. And we'll see in the external world whether that actually, manifests as something, because this is your action taking and your focus. But whether that translates into the external environment is another story. And it could take some time as well, because it is a major arcana card. Those things, they don't happen overnight. But then we get the King of Swords. Now, this is really interesting because the King of Swords relates to Aquarian energy. It's all about Aquarius. And Aquarius, as we know, rules the 11th house. And in September, we do have, I believe it's a new moon in Virgo. I always get mixed up between full moons and new moons. But I think it's a new moon in Virgo, which is Scorpio's 11th house. Of course, 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. And this is all about the social networks, the organizations, you know. And here with the King of Swords tarot card, this is you having some kind of authority, leadership, leading the communications, you know, creating the connections with regards to some kind of work you're doing, putting the pieces together, putting a plan in place, interacting with a wide variety of people, perhaps moving into new territories with regards to communication. And with the World card, you're really trying to bring that to fruition in the real world. You're trying to create those connections. You know, if you have some kind of big goal related to communication, related to social networks, you know, internet, anything like that, this is you trying to bring it all together and to manifest it, to work with certain structures in order to create those social connections, to manifest the plan that you have in mind. And as a King card, that is with leadership, you know. You're not just one of the people who follows, you're the one who commands the situation. So definitely some leadership there. It could be you, you know, if this is a workplace situation, moving up the kind of ranks of something to create important changes. You know, if you have an authoritative leadership kind of position somewhere, this is you trying to make the changes that are necessary within that structure. Trying to bring your vision, your plans, your communication to execute it with firmness. Again, the King of Swords, fixed energy. There's something that you're really trying to fix, you know, into your world, into life, into reality. The Magician there just kind of flipped out a bit. And the Magician, of course, is all about making things happen, manifesting from the higher, you know, realms into the tangible realms. Temperance card just fell out. And Temperance is all about experimenting as well. So that relates very much to the Magician. And the third card, the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords, this card relates to the Gemini energy. And you can see how fast he's moving. This could be you just coming up with all kinds of ideas, thoughts, plans. You have so many options, you have so many things you want to carry out. You know, your mind is on fire. It's really reveling in this new kind of world that, you know, you're trying to move into, to manifest in. You're coming up with all kinds of interactions that, you know, you're motivated towards pursuing, all kinds of plans that are coming up in your mind. And because of the World card, I have a feeling, you know, you really want to try to solidify all those ideas that are coming up inside your mind. And, you know, this could be if you're writing a book, if you're marketing something, you're coming up with all kinds of ideas. You're really motivated to pursue everything that needs to be done. You're willing to learn and to test this new ground, to test it out, to try out this new territory with great motivation. You're inspired to become more skilled and to gain mastery over the situation. perhaps you want to move as well. I get a sense of, you know, wanting to move, even like in terms of a physical location. This could also be a plan to try to move, coming up with a plan to try to move around in terms of physical location, to leave a situation behind and to enter a new one, to find people who resonate with you more, to interact with people who resonate with you more, to put your own skills to the test with planning, marketing, communication. Queen of Swords just fell out there. She's a very communicative card as well. All these swords energies want to come out. So there's a massive emphasis on communication here. And the fourth card on your side of the equation, we get the Fool. I love this card. The Fool is all about, you know, starting off on a new venture, a new creative venture, something that is very different from anything you've done before, something that is different from the norms, from what is expected. It might be a bit unorthodox, you know. This is taking a risk, moving forward with faith, with a pure and innocent heart. You see this white flower here? Untainted by society, untainted by other people's opinions. He's just going for it, you know, his eyes are closed. He has every bit of faith in this new journey. And, you know, he doesn't know all the trials and tribulations that might come up. You know, he has no idea. But that is not going to stop him. You know, he will cross that bridge when he comes to it. But for now, he knows that he needs to make that leap of faith. That's all he needs to do. You know, he's at the edge of this cliff and he knows he wants to go forward. That's all he knows, and all he can do is take that one step. And it is a step that has huge implications because it leads into a whole new world. But he's not in that part of the world yet, and all he knows that he has to focus on right now is to take one step, to take that leap. With full enthusiasm, with full motivation, without, you know, carrying too much baggage with him from the past, from other people. And you can get a real sense that he believes in himself. You know, people call the fool because he hasn't got yet the experience or the knowledge or the involvement in a situation yet. And maybe to some people, you know, that seems foolish, but it's actually not foolish at all. It's exactly what is necessary to create new starts, because if we weren't the fool at some point, we would never begin new things. To venture out into new territories, to expand our world and our consciousness. So the Fool is far from foolish, in my opinion. And you know, some people, because obviously this card, the Fool relates to the energy of Uranus, the planet, which is all about rebellion as well. And some people might call him rebellious. They may say, you know, he's going against the status quo, he's just doing it for attention. But Uranus, the planet of things that is unexpected and, you know, a completely different direction from the norm. Uranus knows that that is necessary in order to work with something on a higher plane, you know. Especially with the presence of the World card. The Fool is clearly, you know, not just in fantasy land. He wants to materialize this higher consciousness, this new movement, this very different kind of direction into the real world. He's not escaping reality, but moving with reality, working with reality. However, he understands that reality is more than just, you know, what has gone on before. Reality is also about creativity and creation, and that means stepping out of bounds from time to time and moving beyond what we can see right here, right now, you know, what people have taught us to believe we can and can't do. So, you know, that's just one of the reasons I absolutely love the Fool card. And, you know, I think a lot of Scorpions will love the Fool card too, because Scorpio loves transformation. And that is all about transformation. The Fool is a necessary, you know, a key player in the process of transformation, because he creates the new direction. He creates the new creations after a death, you know, and creates that new birth kind of moment where things are happening on a completely different level, from a completely new perception that is unadorned by the past, but is still functioning at a higher frequency than what was in the past. So to me, just the Fool is like one of the most inspiring cards, and you know, the energy of Uranus, I just love that energy, even though at times it might feel scary, because you just don't know what's around the corner, and you don't know what it means for the rest of your life. But without diving into the waters, we cannot explore the waters. And then finally, in September, we get the Strength card. Now this can mean multiple things. If this is in response to your external environment, definitely there could be something that comes up externally that may be difficult to deal with. It could have been something difficult in the past, and now you're regaining strength, you know. With the Fool energy, you're full of passion and bravado and heart and faith, you know, even though the Lion, you have no idea what it's going to do. It's just as erratic, you know, as the Fool energy, you know, but you are learning to deal with the unknown in a way that gives you strength and heart, to do it with courage, to do it with skill, to do it with grace and finesse, to do it with this infinity symbol above your head, the faith in the universe, faith in the lessons that you've learnt thus far, to help you to manage and deal with what comes next. And you feel like whatever the universe brings your way, you can use it as something that energizes you and brings you to a stronger place, and not something that is, you know, depleting you. You know, this is you not feeling like you're a victim of the universe, but instead feeling like you have your own sense of empowerment. You have your own strength, you know. You have your own vision, and you can utilize the universe's help to bring that to fruition and to move forward with that. And the infinity symbol, you know, you don't know everything directly right now in this moment, but you have the faith that you have the ability to learn and to roll along, you know, with whatever life puts on your path. It could even be a lion, and you have the faith that everything you need, all the infinite knowledge, is happening right here, right now, and you can learn right here, right now, how to bring that infinite knowledge into something as a lesson, as something that teaches you, as something that gives you the knowledge, but you get it from, you know, acting in the world, from interacting with the world, interacting with what comes your way, and making the best of the situation. And that gives you the strength, the courage to keep moving forward, even if you don't have all the answers right now. So that is just some fantastic, inspiring energy on your side of the equation this month, Scorpio. And, you know, I can see there's a lot of attempt to manifest, a lot of ideas, connections, and a lot of new directions and faith. There's tons of faith here. You know, you don't have all the answers, but you have a ton of faith, and you're just continuing to move forward, to be energized by whatever does come your way in September. So that is wonderful. And what we're now going to be doing is looking at your external world. So we're going to see what could possibly be manifesting around you externally, and this could be as a direct result of your actions. These cards could represent other people, opportunities, results and outcomes, events. And you know, when I read a card, I will just say the most, you know, straightforward thing that comes to my mind. You know, I might interpret a single card as an event, for example, but maybe, you know, for you it ends up resonating more as a specific person in your life. Basically, the energies are all going to be the same, you know, the messages are all the same. The way they manifest in your life will have so many different shapes, sizes and forms depending on you specifically, because you're an individual, you have unique characteristics, you have a unique life. And while the energies are all the same, just like all the planetary alignments, you know, we all go through the same, very similar planetary alignments, especially if you're the same sign as someone. But the way that manifests in each person's life just has a completely different, you know, face to it. So if I do interpret a single card as an event, keep in mind that it might not manifest as an event for you. It might manifest as a person, as a result, as an outcome, as some kind of information that you receive. So I hope that makes sense. But when we're dealing with tarot cards, we're just dealing with general energies. And those have so many different forms and patterns that they can manifest as. So, external world, September for Scorpio. Oh my goodness. It's a double whammy. We get the World card again. So, to me, this sends such a strong message. Whenever I get this, you know, congruency between the internal and external world, it shows, you know, that all parts of you, you know, your subconscious has been sort of, you know, a subconscious aspect has been integrated into the conscious, so that all parts of you are on board with something and are moving in that direction. And because of that, it brings an easy flow, it brings an easy kind of manifestation. So it may be the case that whatever you're trying to manifest with the World card, it's literally manifesting, you know, it's literally creating results in the world, which is so fantastic. You know, it's creating that stability. It's, you know, if there's something you're trying to bring to fruition or even a completion, that cycle, you know, is coming to a completion. And the World card being the end of the major arcana is also really interesting, because then that means a new beginning. And of course, that new beginning is the Fool card. So I get a strong sense that whatever it is that you've been wanting to manifest, whatever you've been working through, you are finally manifesting that, so that you can move forward into a new direction. So that, you know, you've got everything that needs to be done in the tangible real world, so that you can bring brand new directions to your life, brand new creations, to make those new, unorthodox, full of faith kind of moves. And this is all happening in September. You know, as a shadow kind of side to these two cards, the World card, if you are focused on certain restrictions and limitations, be careful about that, you know. If you're focused on difficulties, be careful about that, because that can manifest as difficulties, restrictions, limitations, you know, in the real world. But I get a strong sense that you're being very disciplined, especially in the presence of the Fool card. It means that you can go into new directions, to move beyond these limitations, to create something brand new. Definitely get a positive vibe from these cards. And I also see you as being very disciplined and really working hard with something, and that really pays off for you, because, you know, Saturn really loves it when we work hard and we work proper, when we take due diligence to do things properly, to put our effort into it, and not to just be passive about it or wait for the universe, you know. We're taking an active role here, and it's paying off. Saturn is very happy with us. It's saying, well done, Scorpio, you've done your homework. You handed it in on time, you did it well. So let's see what else we get. Then we get the Three of Pentacles. So this is you manifesting, you know, something new, financially, physically, in terms of location, in terms of a place of learning. You are definitely learning something that helps you to bring form and structure to something. So this can definitely be you moving up in the workplace, moving up in finances, creating something more seeable, something that's more visible, something that's more structured and solid. It's finally, you can see it, all the parts coming together. You can see knowledge of something that you worked on manifesting. So, you know, if this you know, this sword energy, sorry, is you trying to plan to make things work and bring it to fruition, it's happening. So that is so positive and uplifting right there. It's you really getting to work, and because of that, the goods, you know, they start to come in. You start to see them forming. Things are getting built up. You see improvements in some kind of physical capacity, work capacity, your status, your reputation, what you're manifesting. And then we get the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands, in your external world, you know, it could be you manifesting a victory of some sort, you know. As an outcome card, the Seven of Wands is, you know, because you've worked hard on really standing up for yourself, standing up for your beliefs, standing up for what you want, continually moving in the direction of your passions. Because of that, you get the Seven of Wands as an outcome, which is a victory of some kind. And it's not the most stable of victories, because it is a number 7, you know. There's still more to do. There's still more to come, more victories to be had. But this is a really good higher ground. This is you, you know, having the upper level playing field here. You know, the Seven of Wands traditionally in the Rider-Waite deck is somebody stood on the cliff and all the others are down below. And it could be you manifesting some kind of win or victory that puts you in a better position than you were in before. It could also be you manifesting support. You know, the Seven of Wands doesn't have to be seen as negative in terms of, you know, the people at the bottom being people who want to take him down, but they could be his supporters. So they could be all these social connections and communications, could be people who are really supporting you, uplifting you, celebrating with you in your win, and really encouraging you and keeping you motivated to keep going, you know, because you have this Fool energy, you have this Strength energy. Those people could be providing you with the faith and motivation to keep going. With the Knight of Swords energy, this indicates great rapport, back and forth kind of, you know, great energy in terms of communications. And those people, you know, while you're in a trial, a testing state, you are still coming out on top. You have tons of passionate energy, drive to keep going in September. So that is wonderful. You know, with Scorpio being quite a hidden sign, somewhat reserved, you know, sometimes that secretiveness can manifest as being reserved. It can be difficult to reach out for Scorpio. Then that kind of support can mean, you know, the world. That kind of support is something that, as an outward expression and manifestation, something that can really keep you going, spur you on. Oh my goodness, we get the Fool card again. So that, just checking if you can see this on the camera. Yeah, the Fool card again. So I get the real sense that whatever it is that you're moving in a new direction with, you know, you manifest that again externally. And it's so interesting and amazing to see the synchronicity here between the World card and the Fool, because it's literally in the same position. You've got the World card top left, you know, the Fool bottom right, and you've got the same thing in the external world. I get the sense that you are definitely manifesting a brand new direction. Whatever this faith is that you have in the universe, in this new direction, you know, in this new territory that you want to manifest, this is like a message from the universe saying, you're on board with this new direction, we want you to have it. You deserve it. You're going to manifest it. It's going to be great for you. You know, you should have this faith. You should go in this direction. You should move away from the crowd and do that thing where you follow your own heart, you know, your own vision. That is just super, super inspiring right there. I think you're going to be feeling really good about yourself in September, Scorpio. You're going to feel so proud of yourself and happy that you're breaking, you know, the old bondages, that you did what was necessary to keep the faith of moving in a new direction. And that big thumbs up and encouragement is manifesting to you in the external world. This new direction, you know, it shows itself to you and says, keep going, keep following this, this big, you know, cliff edge jump. Take the leap. And you do, you take the leap. You manifest the leap, you manifest the new territory. And finally, we get the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is this Virgo energy, strong Virgo energy, which again, we've got a new moon coming up in Virgo. So whatever it is, you know, especially with this Aquarian card, that you're trying to manifest and communicate, it, you know, in the external world, the Eight of Pentacles is you manifesting those pentacles that you need, manifesting the money, the finances, the physical labor, the jobs that you need to do, the work that you wanted, you're manifesting it, it's coming to you. This is you manifesting some kind of mastery over a situation, developing it, creating it, you know, day-to-day kind of work as well, feeling really motivated. But definitely as an external card, I see it as an outcome card. So you are manifesting the pentacles and the work. You know, if you're applying for a job, maybe it's different to what you've ever, you know, or what you've done before. This is you manifesting that position and manifesting a lot of abundance in response to that. This is you willing to work hard, willing to learn, feeling like it's gotten you to a new level in your life of victory, feeling like it's something really positive in new direction, something that opens up the floodgates for brand new expansion, for completely changing things up. And that can give you a lot of strength, you know. The Strength card is all about skill, feeling like we have what it takes. And, you know, the Eight of Pentacles is the mirror reflection of that, saying, yes, you do have what it takes. You believe in your own abundance, your own worth. You believe you have what it takes to heal and to create and to do what needs to be done. So here's the opportunities to do just that, to shine as well, and to use your strength in such a positive, productive kind of manner. Those opportunities come up for you. So do let me know in the comments, Scorpio, how, you know, in September this begins to play out for you, if you remember to come back to this video. I'd love to hear your stories. I love knowing, you know, how these cards manifest for people. And most of all, let me know what this fantastic Fool energy is. I'm sure it's going to be far from foolish, maybe foolish to other people, not foolish to you or the rest of the world. So do let me know. And I hope to see you next month for your October tarot reading. Thank you so much for listening.